Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics.
What up, what up? What it do? How's everybody doing this morning? This is Sky High. How high? Sky High. What up? You guys hear me? Mic check, 1, 2. Rex and Effects. Shout out to Director Vale for finding this insane ass filter. I think this is pretty fire. Given what we wanted the look and feel of the show to be today. So, what do we got to kick things off? 86. Can you hear it? That's good. How am I doing? I'm doing alright. Got some much needed sleep. Shout out to Perky G, Lactogi, and TR Safe. Appreciate you guys. Peace outside. So, Luna. Who's seen that fucking apocalypse go off out there? All these various apocalypses that are going off, right? You know, whether it's Ark and fucking crazy shit came out of Kramer's mouth yesterday about Ark. You already know we're getting ready for the war. That's why they call war stories, Carlos. You know, that's what we do every day. We go in the market, right? We go to war. Hope to come out the victor. Sometimes, you know, it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Was just rereading Fractal Truth of Markets earlier today. What is going on with my computer here? While it's earlier today. Really good review to have with what's going on. Reading it while it's happening provides a whole new perspective. Yeah, it's something to live through on these cycles, I'll tell you that. Definitely seen a bunch of them. Um, so hopefully many of you guys have managed to come through this unscathed or make a profit. One thing you can tell that's different, right? If you've been watching the station for like a year or more, is that when you have like crazy cycles in the marketplace and you have a lot of like quality information about it, you don't really have the same emotions that everyone else has while it's going on. You can kind of think and make choices still, while most people are paralyzed, watching stuff happen. Um, Jester says Terra CEO's spouse asked for police protection. Yeah, and from what I heard, they broke into Kwan's apartment in Korea already. So that guy is probably, gonna have to run for his fucking life at this point. But that's the thing that happens, like we were talking about with like big penis, is that like as the market de-risks, right, it exposes bad actors, and soon like all the hype and bullshit goes away, and you start to see who's doing X, Y, Z, and we saw this in the 2017 cycle also. 2018 when the market came down, you'll see that, and one of the things you saw that was kind of crazy is like check this out. Let's see. Where did I put that post at? One sec. This insane shit.
Usually don't want to say that.
Hold on, let me get this to where it's you have to hear this. It's a very short clip. Why is this here? Go away.
It really is true that Kathy Wood is the kiss of death, and you usually don't want to say that, but I think you have to throw out all the bromides and really speak truthfully here because the viewers deserve it.
Jim,
she's awful.
I've been asking.
She's awful. I think the fucking viewers deserve it. The viewers deserved it like 70% ago. Do you believe that's coming out of fucking Kramer now? One of the guys who championed what a genius this bitch was all the way into her fucking big penis in everyone's mouth. Now she's awful. Just now. Sentiment things, right? What in the fuck? Fuck. Oh, you can't see me like this. Ha ha, motherfuckers. Oh, this looks like I have a big ass gap tooth. I don't have big teeth like that. What the fuck? I was like, say, God, it looks crazy as hell. Yeah, it's crazy as hell. Like, what the fuck? So, we've seen that movie before, guys, right? Peep this. So, I attached this to something funny. Hold on. So, if you guys been around a while, right, this all happened once before in that exact cycle we just mentioned. And we gave you guys a warning about this. God damn it. Why can't I zoom in? What the fuck is happening whenever I'm live? Stuff is just crazy. Right? This is the historic, it's always darkest before dawn tweet. Hence the sky high tweet. Not tweet, show name. Right? This happens before. So there is a point, right? They'll sell you bullshit. It's buy the dip. Fucking, smart money knows, blah, 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 blah. And then after it's just too fucking horrific and too many people are wrecked and people are committing suicide, people are fucking dying from this shit, then you get an apology that starts to come out. And then everyone starts to fucking point fingers at who did what. And you have to pay attention to when that happens, This was the cycle back here. McAfee, when he did it. And this was a sign of things to come, right? It was a sentiment thing in the marketplace. Kind of said this, kind of funny, but did all the OGs that help wreck markets all get some email you fucked up when BTC passed their 500 said now acknowledging your BS? That Kramer moment's that moment. And we're down pretty goddamn deep, We talked about reaching possibly the last cycle high of this particular cycle, and a lot of things are closing in on that. Some have made it. So we'll take a look at that because it's pretty fucking hilarious that you'd see this now, and it's just what people fucking do. They sit there, they lie their faces off. She was always trash. This woman was always fucking incapable. She was always retarded. They just weaponized her and fucking pointed in everyone's face, and they mind fuck people. That's how you got record inflows coming into her fund while it's going off a fucking cliff, because they are marketing the fucking woman as a genius And if you're losing money in everything you've got your hands on, and they're telling you that she's a fucking beacon in the fucking darkness, what the fuck do you expect people to do who don't really understand markets at like the levels that we talk about on here in the show, right? Your mom and pop and grandparents don't fucking think about markets every fucking second of the day like this. They have like a fucking chance to maybe look at it at 6 o'clock once a week. Their mental dexterity is like what a fucking candlestick is nothing. They have done a huge disservice to people. And when you let people run amok like that, you know, it causes real fucking damages. I showed you guys this before. I think I showed you guys before, right? This is the Terra Luna board. And people being shoved into this, you know, Novogratz championed fucking Luna. There are people now who are killing themselves. So far they're saying there's 8 fucking confirmed suicides tied to Luna. And people think it's like a joke, you know, we say that fucking markets, you know, bottoms are made with dead bodies. Now it's like it's a graveyard for real. People actually physically die when they're financially devastated. You know, there's somebody in the ecosystem who said their neighbor just shot himself over gambling losses with his wife leaving him. This shit's real. People fucking die at the bottom. And people don't understand, like, how do all those fucking shitty CT people always have more followers, you know, in every cycle? Because your dead fucking followers can't push on fucking follow. Right? Just because they have a lot of followers don't mean they're all fucking still alive. That's the thing. Nobody comes back to get rid of them. The followers that they took out at the bottom of the pool, those people drowned. The last 50,000 people from the last cycle just sit like a block that the new people who fucking value people based on the amount of followers think, ooh, smart guy, and they join the party. So the longer your OGs have lasted in the marketplace, the more victims they fucking have. And none's the wiser because the fucking dead part of their fucking following you won't hear from. Nor can they remove themselves. So it's something to think about. You know, we pointed out, most people think we're nuts for what we do. At the end of the day, we have viewers here fucking like 5, 6, 7, you know, years around the ecosystem. Not just, you know, obviously the show's 3 years. But we have, you know, people in our ecosystem fucking the better part of a decade, literally almost a decade. Because the fact is, we've been on point for a decade while these jokers make fucking clowns out of everybody that follows them. But they're never held accountable because their victims are gone. And that's the real problem, is like no one knows the real level of destruction people cause. Check this out. What did I do to this chart? Can we get another fucking shout out how ridiculous this crash cycle call is on MicroStrategy back here in fucking March 14th. So March 14th, on that day, we also posted we're also show day. We did Ultra Black. If you guys remember Ultra Black, right? That was another March. There was de-risking obviously evident at that point, and some things going on with food and stuff that we were talking about. But yeah, I've seen this movie before. And it's that sentiment, right, where people are calling it like, if you're way away from that time period, you don't really remember it. But if you can imagine anybody telling you there's a bull market happening after the Twin Towers were not physically in New York anymore, you have to realize what level of fucking crazy person it takes to fucking think that there's anything the same about the United States pre and post 9/11. And there were people, literally many people in the fund I joined, saying it's a tech bull market. The guy who was my direct supervisor was a gold bull. They shit that motherfucker under a bus over this shit. And fucking like literally laughed that guy out of the building. And like, you know, what are you fucking tying up $1 million in gold for? You fucking idiot. It's a fucking tech bull market. That's literally what somebody said. Post 9/11. To a guy who's, to me, one of those legendary knife catchers there ever was. And they shit him under the bus when the guy took a leave of absence. They actually had the nerve to unwind his gold trade to free up margin to buy more tech stocks. That's what kind of level of crazy is going on behind 9/11. So I've seen that sentiment where you're like, do you know how far down the NASDAQ crash you are to be saying that with something like 9/11 having happened to the country? It's like, what do you need to fucking see to realize something is just not exactly like fucking 1999? That was this shit. You know, it's exactly the same sentiment. Kathy, the praise for her, all of it. And then that next wave, right? What do we say about that? Oops, don't know what that was. So I think a lot of things look kind of sus right now. Don't like that chart right now. Wave USDT. Pretty good pump. So he's kind of matched Luna on that last one, where not much of crypto, nothing else has really done this. This guy's got his own Ponzi nomics going on here, and whatever's pushing this dude. Luna, is basically just a giant Ponzi scheme. Giant Ponzi scheme. What is Mike Novogratz doing in a giant Ponzi scheme? What is anybody doing in a giant Ponzi scheme? Obviously trying to make money before it blows up, but if you don't get out. So for anybody who's loosely watching this stuff, like you're in a market condition that's happened like, pretty much 3 times in the last like 17 years. It is really fucking dangerous. It'll wipe your ass out. The speed the market's moving, and your insta wins will become insta losses if you don't move quickly. That being said, y'all motherfuckers stay safe. Catch on flip. Peace. Did you guys see that graph in the middle? This crash took 5 days to do fucking $30 billion more damage than fucking Enron did. Enron took the whole year. That's incredible when you think about this graph. That's Enron in a business week. Enron Plus. And yeah, that's people die in this shape, right? All these shapes, we talk about that. People die at the tip of the spear of fucking major crashes. But this is, the larger resolution crashes, right? So it's something serious that's never taken into consideration, because the people who are victims in the bottom, you never hear from them. They don't have the financial means, or if they're even alive, to do anything about what's now happened to them. They're pretty much just reduced to rubble. Shit like this doesn't exist, though, unless, markets are frothy and you have many, many bad actors. Kathy Woods is just another version of this shit. Just sticking people in things and getting her hands on people's money and firing into the fucking market with no fucking, risk management whatsoever. And just a charlatan. There's tons of that shit in there. And when you get, remember that saying? Well, we'll do a modification. Everybody's a genius in a bull market. Just every genius is always in a bull market. Kathy's not a genius. Get it? Like, that's the difference, right? These people say the same thing when the market's in favor of their specific fundamentals they care about. They look smart, but you want to see this happen. You want to see the tide change and see the motherfucker that's saying the same thing keep saying it when it goes the other way. Shout out to William Payne. Appreciate you, sir. JJ, yeah, and censored user. I can only be me. People don't usually like it, though. Yeah, and Mon said 100% true. Most people that started getting into crypto with me in 2015-16 are not around anymore because they only did what CT told them. Thanks for keeping us safe all these years. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. So I want to show you something. Let's see if I can open this up. Oh, well, I have it open. Can I actually fucking find the graph I need? Good speed. Let's see. This is an incredible graph. I hope I can find it fast. I always pull this thing up now. I can't remember what it is. It's something important to think about, like when you have crash cycles, like the amount of damage that gets done to the system that's there, to figure out what's left in the next system. God damn it, I know I have this chart in one of these folders. I'm gonna find it. I've pulled it up before. Well, one sec. Well, the graph I'm trying to pull up basically points to the distribution of how many people were in the 2017 cycle. And from my era, from the 14-15 cycle, 13-14 cycle, at the time you were like climaxing out in the fourth quarter of 2017, 95% of crypto had arrived in 2017, meaning that all that had survived from the previous cycles from 13 and 14 was 5% of us. Everything else that was in that cycle had no idea about fucking anything we were part of the cycle before. Every time you get a crash, you lose like a tremendous amount of the population that's there. And then the market is reflated with, a new set of victims. So when you get to the cycle like here in 2022, like even the NFT guys don't have any fucking clue about anything. They're literally brand fucking new. They don't know anything about 14 cycle, fucking 17 cycle, or shit cycle. This is their first cycle. And so they get led around by whatever revenant CT person's lurking over in fucking NFT space, fucking telling nonsense. But it's the same thing, and it keeps on repeating itself. But we're a relic of the past. There's not a lot of people around from when we're around. I can't find that thing. But yeah. So, these guys at Novogratz or whatever survived. There's going to be a bunch of new people that hear about there's somebody they should pay attention to, and they're going to get let off a cliff in another cycle. He did the same thing to people last time. I think I've almost found it. Yeah, here it is. So yeah, this is a crazy graph, right? At the time that you're looking at this stat, 92% of the bought cryptocurrency in the year of this cycle. Meaning that everyone from the time M. Mond and I were around, we're literally the fucking one, the small percenters of that era that survive. Most people don't make it. And when this crash happens, you see the reflation that's happened for BTC to go from this cycle to go to 60,000. When you do the cycle to 60,000, the exact same thing is true. Everyone in that cycle from the bottom of fucking COVID up, 90 fucking percent of the population arrived post-COVID. They have no idea about this cycle of the ones in front of it. And that's what you're seeing getting fucking hammered out again. And the market will reflate with a brand new population. No, that's never good. Yeah, wag me. Like, literally none of you are going to make it. Somebody should change that one, Jay. Literally none of you are going to make it. Let's put wag me. Nomics. I'm not traumatizing anybody. You guys are on the right shit. That was a mouse drop. That was not a mic drop. I'm not that cool. Not gonna make it. Now you gotta put the L in there. Literally none of you are gonna make it. Do that one. You have to fully customize that. So we're 8:39. Let's go over to see if we got any war stories from you guys, and then we'll just try to get some symbols in the show without being completely compressed. All right, let's see. So you got one, trust the Ponzi. What is this? TR Shapes. Hello, Kaz. Life into a bull flag right now, so mostly away at the moment. Okay. Spending 10 plus hours a day at work with greedy people gives some good sentiment. Everyone had that really smart idea to buy Luna Dip because it's cheap now. More people coming in without proper risk management, motivated by greed, waiting to get dumped on. So I've waited for a sign of rotation from the dead lows, and mainly relied on wave logic from OnlyFans. Intense run with mechanical error on second play entry, but we packed -1 R loss and +20 R. I wrapped it up at first loss. Stalking plus mechanics. Also worth mentioning that I stayed safe during the entire market crash thanks to you. Guys, not sure when. Awesome stuff. Well, that's that. So you played the Ponzi, and so, after all things are said and done, a lot of people will, go, oh wow, this is a scam from the start. Do you know how many shitcoins from 2013 to 2022 are gone? All the coins that have ever been created? Most of them were Ponzi's, right? They never had real products behind them. So it's not really about whether you know for certain when you're playing this thing. It's a quality business. It's a quality coin. It's just about really playing the markup on human perception that's going on that makes markets what they are, right? Ultimately, if it comes down to it, that like we had obviously inside this thing is clearly a Ponzi-nomic structure to it, but for the people who are less informed about that, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to survive this and have risk management get you out of the way before it comes undone. You don't know how many of these companies out there are fucking garbage. If you're playing Trump's company, DWAC or whatever the fuck, Palantir, like Kathy Woods. There's a number of fucking companies out there that are just hyping a bunch of shit that they don't have. That happens all the time, and you're not supposed to be a fucking detective and figure out which board is lying to you. That's almost impossible to do. But being mechanical and playing structure, if you understand that good technicals put you in the same place as good fundamentals, you'll be out of the way when the fucking when Armageddon hits. So I think this is a really good chart to show that you don't have to be a rocket scientist to play mechanical structures, nor do you want to try to be the fucking the investigator of the century. This is what it's about right here, and yeah, you're going to lose some, and as long as your wins are bigger than your losses, you have a business. So good shit, TR. Right, you don't care if it's a crypto, if it's a commodity. If I took the symbol and the name off that chart and took the time frame off that chart, you guys would know what the hell that was. But you could play that wave, and if that makes sense to you, then that's all you give a shit about, isn't it? So good shit. All right, let's get some macro things looked at, because there's definitely a couple things to look at. Luna we looked at. Man, this just looks crazy. To realize how much market cap this is the part that's really crazy, I had looked up, let's see. Let me get an Enron chart for you. Enron. So yeah, here. This one has the date on it. Yeah. Man, why is Zoom not working for me today? I do not understand this thing. Did I open a virus or something? Jesus. If you can see this thing, right? He started to roll from fucking like right on January 2001, and he blew out right into December. And that's where he blew up and fucking died, just like you see the way Luna is. That took a whole year, to do that. That's $70 billion. I don't think it fully grasps people. There's nothing this big, this fast I can think of in 20 years I've ever seen do some shit like this in 5 days. That's really remarkable. Basically 6 days to fucking just the whole fucking gas pedals right from here straight down. That's 5 days. Really insane. So let's start with our favorite chart, the legend. It's in the building. So Ragnarok, we talked about him. We gave you guys a prep actually. Gave you guys a prep to pay attention to here. Gave you a great swing level created by our boy Energy, who's now a rock star in the chat. He now has joined the party with Goku and got his own level, so pay attention to that. He's our main swing level out of the ditch to fight fucking Ragnarok right now. So the current sitch at the moment. So we got a rotation coming up right here. Same thing we're looking for here. You can just readjust the same thing. You still want to see this guy do something. So like right now, I'd say you're probably playing above Energy's level. If we hold up above this, you have a chance to get a squeeze out today. As deep as things are, once you at least see the apologies, you have a chance for a little bit of squeeze action. Generally speaking, right, it's just the beginning of acknowledge that Kathy's a liar. For Kathy to stop being able to do what she's doing, you need the investors who've been pouring money in there to basically force redemptions onto her, and then force her to unload the stocks against her will to really crush her. that's kind of what has to happen to blow her fund out. So if, the thing that has allowed her to keep getting money the whole fucking time the market's been going down is CNBC, Barron's, and Fortune, all those guys marketing, she's a genius, she's a genius, she's a genius. So she's like the fucking, like the beacon in the night, and people are finding money here to save their asses. They're losing everywhere. So while they're doing that, she's getting funds to keep on fucking buying on the way down, and people are fucking still buying the stock. If you force redemption on her, she's going to drop like the $500,000, what she bought, 500,000 shares of coin yesterday. She's going to start fucking unloading all that, unlock Teladoc, all those things. She'll brick all those fucking stocks, brick her fucking fund at the same time, and that will fucking put her into a place where she can't recover. The entire thing is that the media has to stop feeding the sentiment that allows her to keep getting new money. Once she gets cut off, that allows her to die. So the fact that they've just begun to acknowledge it, they have to turn the tide against her and lock her out of money, and then it could come down and break her fucking back. So darkest before dawn is bottoming formation time, right? There can be some good squeezes in here. There may need to be one more break of the low, and that wick would be the fucking backbreaker to everybody involved. And that's where depression should set in, where it says full acknowledgement, boo-hoo, you fucked me, Kathy, big old penis ass bitch, you fucking put it in my ass, and now the whole family can't eat, all we got to your dick, And once that fucking kind of conversations happen at the dinner table, God forbid, right? But that's the kind of thing it takes to be at the bottom. Like the acknowledgement that, everybody bet their fucking family's fortunes on her fucking big old penis, and it didn't work out. So Kramer's at least reached that point, and Kramer's in control of a lot of minds of a lot of people. So this is an important point, I think, in the market sentiment for at least growth stocks. So that being said, I said that with all sincerity. We're going to talk about her dick. We want to make sure there's people understand this is a serious situation. Kathy's dick is serious. So back to my charts. So where we are today, right? Keep in mind that if you stay underneath this trigger, you're still in fucking danger. However fast it squeezes, you squeeze up to this and rotate back off of this, it could just turn right over and, it could be a bear flag like that. This wouldn't be really great until we probably beat Ragnarok's level, who's the Armageddon swing level. At that point, like if we got back in here and did this, then that might be interesting. But for right now, everything in here is to be considered a bear market squeeze. You're in a position for bottoming formation, but like again, nothing is safe up here at VIX 30, right? So this was our actual projected bull flag. So this still is a bull flag at 30. So it's always going to feel like things are okay when the VIX corrects. So paying attention to this right now, if he continues to drop into the morning, still though rules, you get a squeeze and you get a quick rotation. There's probably something playable in all that. Seen Tesla, he's going to be one of the guys you pay attention if that happens. He's got a decent pre-market bounce, right? But again, nothing here has got like a macro structure that says, hey, I want to be on just fucking a gas pedal move. It's just the beginnings of a bounce. So for you guys who are, scalpers, obviously a different resolution than most people, that's going to play different for you. But just kind of making sure we keep a macro focus, right? It's not a scalping show. So the stocks she brought about Ford and GM was one that Kramer was talking about Kathy Kiss of Death. So always interesting to look. I got a good level on Ford, and that's one that Kramer has talked about. Coin, interesting coin. Coin is bouncing now. She actually bought 500,000 shares. I thought it was interesting. Gerber and her kind of track similarly because they invest in the same things for the most part. And Gerber closed his position in this, and Kathy actually bought more. So she's doubling down still on her position, and Kramer's acknowledging she's an idiot. And Gerber's at least fucking doing some course correction. So this is an inflection point among fund managers that are caught in this wave. And this is still not resolved itself. Not until Kathy fucking is forced to acknowledge it. Do I think this can fucking really be the end of it? She gets away with this market pumping after this horrible behavior. The explosion she causes in the next cycle will be fucking 10 times worse than what she's done already. So this is a crazy thing. Wanted to check these out. Is coin dead? They definitely put out some language that sounds scary with regard to bankruptcies, right? And some crazy scale, you could consider this possible. And there is recoil potential. The market recoil is hard. Even Kathy's big old dick has recoil potential, right? So we talked about where she should get down to. She's down in the range we thought she should get down to, right? How deep? Does she need to break it? It's possible. She could bounce and still come down. That looks like a small bear market squeeze is possible today. But again, right, keep our context in mind. Watch this. We rotate this flag up, so we probably should draw him in. So this was our projection. He makes a bull flag, which he's made. I'll make that something else. Alright. If the VIX comes back up out of that, stays above Goku, you're watching again for this to be your trigger. If we come back up 5 points, the market will get fucking hammered by the time you even get back up here. It would be a bloodbath just to get back up here. And then if we structure out here, things are likely going for the final low. So I think, given the sentiment read that it shows you early in the show, a pump into this zone, 35, 44, is probably necessary to finish this. But could give us a short-term high point here that corrects for ultimate what does look like a breakout in rotation of this entire situation. So this could be, like I said, a longer term heading into crazy shit. We've now rotated this. I think we can get a spike in here and probably could create a much more longer term bottom to risk assets coming down. And then with that, I was looking at things like ETH. I think you look at ETH, these guys, right? He's got a good level there we talked about before. For the last system, 19. 14 is the old system high, AVAX over here. So I think if you saw that, if there's one more wick low that goes through this, I think that's fucking it. If it happens and Kathy gets blown up, I think that's what you're looking for this to be it. And I think that puts him in a corrective structure down there. And I still say ETH is the superior asset in crypto right now for utility sake. So if we squeeze a little bit today, you can play off of this level today. We're up a good bit off of that. BTC, see what he's off of. BTC is coming back over. What's his face's level? Sailor. So Sailor's margin call, 21K. He's average price is 30,700, right about where we are now. So that same low, that's a trigger right here. So wick on that for now, and for now you got to stay of execution. So anything that sits above this and the market goes risk on a little bit, you likely see crypto go risk on pretty hard with it also. So that's that. So did DXY, like we talked about, this was the key level. DXY is trying to leave anyway, and you want to pay attention to this guy still being strong coming out of here, right? We talked about this one, pretty good, eh? So he's out here. You got your first flag. For you currency traders, this is either, if the market goes risk on, this could turn into a wick and come back in, because always keep in mind, when you break out of a range that's 5 years, 7 years, right, and you're in lower resolutions, this is where, you can catch a wick that's a daily or a fucking weekly wick while this thing works its way out of here. So, if you're playing on the res right here as he goes out of this little beach wave action, just be careful and play it tight. If the market goes risk on, it could put pressure on this. So if risk assets going to catch fire, generally the DXY doesn't stay super strong. That being said, you guys who have this cheat sheet, wow, huh? What a motherfucker that guy was. So this cheat sheet's from your OnlyFans. Hopefully you guys kept track of it. We told you, this goes boom, fucking crypto goes doom. Case in point, March 5th, right? Actually, look at that. When this thing pumped, so you guys, if you guys had this sheet, let's see, when did he break through this? When he got here, this is March 6th, March 5th. Luna. March 5th. Literally to the money. That USDT chart, look at that. That's March 5th. I'm retarded. May 5th. Right there. And then May 5th on this sheet. I don't think it gets better than that, does it? Where's May 5th? There's May 5th. There's a bar up through it. That's it. That's Luna's fucking destruction right there. You had this sheet for how long? Motherfucker, that's sick as shit. The trigger on USDT is all you needed. That was a fucking wipeout of pretty much all the world markets. How much shit in OnlyFans do y'all see up there? And y'all have another 100% basket. Again, that VIX basket with the 4 shorts, all that hit. It's about as ridiculous as it gets. So you had the Ponzi warning. You had the USDT basket, you had your short basket, you had MicroStrategy warning, you have that mapped out all for March. I don't think you could have done any better with that. You guys had your disaster food basket, and you all called the energy wave of the entire fucking year. Money. So, I think that's pretty good shit. We're at at 50 minutes. Let's see where I'm at. 8:56. So that's USDT. I showed you crypto already. We talked about USDT, talked about DXY, talked about VIX, talked about some currencies with the US situation. So if you guys had paid attention to this, right? Euro USD, you guys got a killer fucking currency play off the show. If you've been watching that, that's stalled out already. Let's see if anything else is moving currency. Obviously, like I said, European currencies make more sense to fuck with. These guys are kind of like slow going. There's still stuff moving, but somebody asked about the Hungarian point before. See if that guy, see, so stay with the European bloc countries, weak guys against the dollar. That's what kind of makes sense right now. So, all right, I think we're at a spot. We could take some questions. What else do I want to check out? So all the other metaverse guys are blown out now. Again, today, if we're gonna get any kind of squeeze too, as you can tell, it's everybody's destroyed. It's got crazy strength. You might not even realize how strong this bounce yesterday was, but look at this. This is coin off the low. You see how fucking big this is? This is actually crazy. This is what bear market bounces look like, motherfucker. 62%. That's epic in a single day. So there's gas under pre-market. Whether we sustain it or not, dick rules. Remember? So pay attention to that. It's big danger playing gaps. If you guys played gaps yesterday, right, dick rules, you see how useful that shit was? Like, a couple of you used it inside Discord. So, yeah, pay attention to this. There's our dick example. Our dick example. Do you know that fucking YouTube fucking hit that, the double, I can't even say it too many times, the dildo rules show. They hit me for like fucking like not so good content and like limited my ability for advertising. Unbelievable. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty fucking big. So coin looks pretty crazy. Go ahead and drop me. Really? You guys asked 3 symbols? You guys are sucked in. What are you looking for? Armageddon shit? Tesla, Nike, Euro, JPY. Well, that helps me out. Tesla, I did already, but I'll do Tesla again. So Tesla right now, 765. These are all levels I think are pretty good levels on him. 797 is pretty good. He's really good play up here at 885, 886 or so, 88. Right there is a good trigger to go through. All you're watching right now, I guess, you've got just this lower resting. You have only like lower rest stops. If he sits out here and structures out right, he could sweep up, like I said, the VIX keeps dropping today, but like that's a big if. So you're watching this, and like I said, the VIX fucking turns up over open or anything and starts to create the rounding formation of a bull flag to go head higher. All bets are off. Oh yeah, my bad. I got it. Sorry. All right, Tesla, my bad. So sorry. Down wave right here. Looking at him, he's rotated at the angle. He's going to gap out today. You're going to see the same thing on SPY. So squeeze potential when you come out of something this fucking deep like this. I'd say right now, I shouldn't do stuff this low res on the show, but there's really nothing else to talk about. So with the intraday today, and you watch it, that little swing level you see from energy up here, like 400, probably good line in the sand for the whole market as a whole. Even if you're on the gap, see it stabilize above that to take a shot to push all the way back up here. This is a pretty big run. A lot of like the beaten down stocks, if you get that, will have a huge intraday. That's all your real potentials are, and using dick rules to kind of keep yourself safe with this. As far as zooming out on Tesla, I think Tesla is one of the guys that, like, after whatever the final blowout of this all is, I think Elon becomes richer than he was ever in our time right now. And that means that this stock is likely higher than it is in our time right now. I think the flush Kathy out of the market, if Kathy has to liquidate, this is one of her biggest holdings, she could generate some fucking apocalyptic wick on this thing. I think like when the final like Armageddon really blows out the bad actors, they blow out like, sizable wicks on things like ETH and BTC and fucking, Tesla and things that the bigger holders are in. So I think longer term that Tesla, like I said, Elon's playing a card that if Trump gets back in office, he's going to grease his ass and get a shot at having, funding for his space ventures. He becomes richer, probably the first trillionaire. So I think if this guy, if you see him correct down, hold in here even, that'd be pretty good. The wick could be something crazy. Who knows? You go down something fucking crazy and go through the lows if it's what it takes to blow Kathy out. But I think when she's out, this is one of your top 3 guys you keep on your radar. That was Tesla. What's the other thing you asked for? Nike and Euro JPY. Nike's been unusually fucking stomped into the ground. See where he got down to? We always like to kind of see that as a potential first place to check is the old high of your old all-time high of your old system. Nike hit it like to the letter. So think of like we talked about with AVAX. That's a pretty good discount, especially where it's coming from. I think this is a global brand that if you guys follow what I talk about in the metaverse. Okay, my bad. Got it. Damn, I keep doing that. Sorry, guys. Nike has pulled down all the way to directors on my ass for it. All right, I'm on it. Pulled all the way down to the previous high, all-time high of his old system. You always want to watch that when you see that, right? Just like we're talking about. That's really the first place to kind of gauge things, right? Leaving an old system and being tested on top of old system, pretty much structurally, the same from here to here. So that is the first place you do want to see that. I like Nike as a global brand and their business strategies going forward. Like, they have good momentum. There's nothing that's really changing about their position in the marketplace that they exist. So, all things being equal, this business likely doesn't really go anywhere. Now, do risk assets have a chance of healing somewhere down here to allow risk, these to bounce meaningfully? That's all you really care about. I like it here technically as the market bounces, but in a longer haul, you're probably looking for something to form on him, right? You look at these systems that rotated. This one's kind of like crazy, but it's there. And this is likely there also. So does he rotate up through it and allow you a chance to play this guy? Does he need to come up and do a bigger climax like with things we said? Possibly send a wick and come back through. You guys know how to play rotations on these trajectories, so this is kind of what you're watching. So if you're playing low res for the market, he's interesting right up close, and he's interesting, over the longer term. And then Euro Yen, Euro JPY. Cool. We drew this guy up a while ago. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we gave some projected pass on this guy. So this is the last time we looked at him. Went out here, looked for a flag, and then a play for that. So I guess we'd had him projected back in here against this angle. He could either came out or gone up and turned up. So he turned up, and now outside here, we want to see if he actually structures out and holds. So this little swing action where he blows out the high of this system and doesn't really sustain, he's come down like a brick. He can still match this this idea if this is just the steepness of the bull flag he's got, if it's like that. So he needs to pretty much rotate from here up right now and sustain this. And if he can do that, he can leave from this and be something worth paying attention to. So something like that's what you're watching on him, and you probably need to see some structure like that broadly in JPY. That doesn't look as good because this really stuck out. That looks like JPY is in a position where he could actually just kind of stall across a couple places because he's been pumping out. That's bounceable. So this is European bloc countries are pulling back to previous breakouts. That's actually worth paying attention to. Let's see what's going through in there. Curious. Okay. Yeah, I think looking at GBP JPY, that makes that guy interesting to look at. There's a potential to rotate this if GBP JPY holds a low that he just landed on. You might have, a basket European block currency versus JPY play available. Yeah, I think that's worth paying attention to if he sits on here, seeing how it structures out, and if you can get a good structure rotating off of this. Jeez, it's ugly. Yeah, there you go. There it is. Got all your symbols. Got your review. Got everything done. All having, you have Ruble, JPY, DXY, all having strength at the same time against European bloc currencies. Right there, you're looking for basically a bounce on European bloc currencies versus JPY. Like I told you, with the present situation and Putin over there, playing, you can get zoomed in playing Euro Yen. you want to play the absolute best strength you can against the yen, and just European currencies aren't it. If you see what I showed you in the European dollar euro dollar relationship, euro is clearly not the best of breed at all. So I think you want to look for some better candidates to go against that. Yen is a great carry trade to go against, but there's definitely people with like stronger fundamentals out there. If you go with any of the guys that have like commodity backing, I guarantee they're gonna have better structures than that, or better opportunity setups than that. They have the alpha when stuff moves. So if you look at like Australian dollar, yen. This guy's out here right now is having much more positive swing on him. Canada yen. These guys way stronger, flagging way higher, not nearly dump corrected back to any previous levels at all like these dudes are. So there's definitely stronger guys, and I'd say your commodity back guys definitely look a lot better than your non-commodity back guys. So keep that in mind. Asset selection matters. All right, you guys all set? You guys got that? Dick rules. Don't get my show fucking suspended. I don't have to keep explaining that shit because clearly YouTube doesn't like it. So make sure you like, subscribe, retweet, do whatever the fuck. Support the brand. We'll keep supporting you guys. So remember, man, markets look bad out there. A lot of people are getting wrecked. You guys stay safe. You don't have to plow anything right now. It doesn't fucking stay dark forever, like we said before. But patience is a virtue, and people who don't have that won't make it. So until next time, motherfuckers, stay safe for the weekend. If we hold them, we bounce good in fucking stocks. VIX fucking pulls back anymore. Probably can see pressure come off in crypto also. It should be broad-based. If there's a squeeze, it's going to be crypto and stocks. And then, of course, if it's crypto and stocks, probably see some pressure come off from the NFTs. You even saw Zuki's bounce a fuck ton once the developer said he was blackmailed. So they have faith like a motherfucker in there. So there's still risk assumption present in many strategies of the marketplace. If you're going to play, though, gains come quick and losses come quick. Take your fucking wins when you see them, right? It's not the time to make a bet forevermore. Like, be patient. And, be mechanical and be tactical. Like, there's not a million great ideas. Be mechanical, hunt for that great idea, and then get your ass out of it when you get it. All right, motherfuckers, I'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace out.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5,
Cotton mouth, motherfucker.
4,
Jesus. Fucking dehydrated.
3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome